Hello and welcome to today's Wild Hearthstone video on Budget Deathrattle. Budget Deathrattle does the same thing as most other Deathrattle rogues you might have seen from, say, your Danes of the world or your Raffles of the world, or whatever content creator you might see. We just happen to run in our list a whole list that is nothing but commons and uncommons, or rares, whatever Hearthstone calls them. Now, there's only one exception to this rule, and that is prep, but as you can see here, prep is part of the core set and isn't really that hard to get a hold of, and you can't really craft it. So I'm going to count that as basically being budget friendly. Now, for the actual purpose of the list, it wants to play loads of Deathrattles and get extra triggers off of them with cards like Snowfall Graveyard. We can also trigger a load of Deathrattles in a turn with Smokescreen and Swift Scale Trickster. We can also, if we need to, later on just cast a Smokescreen kind of traditionally for card draw. But ideally, in the magical world, we can get Scrapyard Colossi and your Humongous Owls early on. But if not, we can always just say throw loads of cheap low-end Deathrattles at our opponent's face here and turn that into damage. We also do run a couple of nice little support cards, a single Swindle, as well as Prep and Counterfeit Coin to sort of coin out and do your crazy things even earlier, assuming you don't get lucky and hit the, again, Trickster Smokescreen combo. And a lovely little addition that made me want to actually make this video was the Shatter Shambler, basically being able to, at any point in time, detonate a board of Deathrattles that you like by playing a Shatter Shambler and an Explosive Sheep. Can get rid of whatever board you need to turn that into damage, or if you really need to panic, you can always blow up a sheep and fight back for the board. And that is the basics of the deck. We'll go on now to game number one. And game number one with a little budget Deathrattle rogue.
Can escape my fury.
Going against an opposing rogue, so odds are it's pirate, maybe with maybe burgle possibly. But anywho, for your your mulligan strategy, you basically don't want to keep any Deathrattles in your opening hand, since you do, again, want to hit them off a Smokescreen early on. Of course, you can't always control everything, so don't be too married to it.
Feed the fish, landlubber.
Okay, you pirate. Or pirate. It's not fantastic. Normally we would, for the sake of this, I think we would normally try and save our explosive power to kill our opponent, but we're clearly going to need to fight for the board now. So we're going to go ahead and prep into a graveyard. Now, admittedly, we're not going to get any immediate use off of the first turn of the graveyard, but our hope here is that maybe we could play a sketchy information into drawing a explosive sheep. Of course, it might not actually work like that, which would be terribly unfortunate. Okay, why are you prepping? Okay, prepping to a deadly poison. It hurts. Taking some damage, it has to be said. It is a lot of damage. So yeah, we would very much like to, because we're probably going to regular coin into a sketchy information. See what we draw. Luckily, the sketchy information does only hit a certain range of cards. So the odds of us hitting what we want is higher. As long as we don't draw it now. Good. Go ahead and regular coin. It was sketchy. It's not really what we wanted. It's not great, but we need to do something to contest the board. Hopefully we can just sort of fight and contest for the board and eventually sort of turn the corner, although it's harder to turn the corner against a pirate rogue. odds are they could just hit us with their weapon. Or, sorry, hit our gnome with their weapon. That's not great. Please don't have a pirate. Now you have a pirate, don't you? That's not a pirate. Okay. We can do that. Again, we're going to take loads of damage, which is awful. I think that... Sometimes you need to just get run down and have to be said. Okay, they one damage we're not taking, I guess. Alright, we're in some trouble here. We're in some real trouble. Holy crap. We'll just play again the Sand Trooper and try and contest the board. Maybe eat up a ship's cannon shot. They do only have one card in hand, though, so there is that. It's not the, swordfish. Great. Okay, that's not good. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We need, maybe if we hit a trickster or hit a smoke screen, we can like trickster into it. Maybe make something happen. Otherwise, we lose immediately. But even then, it is good to show that yeah, we're an aggressive deck. But we're not an aggressive deck, and sometimes we can get run down by aggressive decks. Is what I meant to say. I apologize. Let's see what we find here. Maybe a smoke screen into a big hit. Well, okay, it's sketchy information. It's something.
Let's muddy the waters.
Yeah, we just sit here and kind of have to hope. Yeah, and sometimes you still just get run over and die. We'll go ahead and let our opponent win. If they aren't really respectful of our time, however, we will just go ahead and rip the cord here. Come on.
Well played.
There we go. But yeah, like we were talking about, or like I was talking about earlier, we're not an aggressive deck. We're more or less kind of a combo deck. And sometimes you can just get run down before you get all your pieces set up and play. Anywho, we'll go on to game number 2. In game number 2 with a little Deathrattle rogue list. I didn't pay attention to what they mulliganed. We'll go ahead and again, like usual, just get rid of any Deathrattles in our hand. It's not fantastic, but we'll take it. That's fine.
I see.
More Renathal list. Yeehaw. We'll just go ahead and do what we can to progress a little board state here. Let's see what our opponent is here. Come on. Come on, come on. There we go. Okay, so they're not a quest, and we do have the Trickster, so that's nice. So in the meantime, we just try and linearly beat our opponent by hitting them until they're no longer alive. See what our opponent does. If they have anything. Because they're not quests. Ooh, okay. Versus some sort of like Mech Hunter? Sure. I don't know what cards Mech Hunter would run besides some Deathrattle cards. We'll go ahead and do more sketchy information and delete our draws. I actually don't think we will. We'll just sit and wait. Next turn we do have the Trickster and the Smokescreen combo here. I mean, sadly, one of the Colossus is in our hands. As long as we just don't draw another big guy, we'd prefer to, you know, play. It'll be in a good spot. Doing okay. Okay, that's rating.
Analyze, engage.
Alright, that makes sense.
Analyze, engage.
That's gonna be a little sketchy. Coin into another mech. Hearthstone. Alright. We'll see if it's enough. So we'll go ahead and get just Trickster, do a smoke screen, see what we draw. Some good damage. Graveyard, sheep. another sheep. We'll go ahead and immediately just take that trade. We're happy to. Luckily, we aren't going to burn any cards. Next turn will likely just be a graveyard into a gone fishing to see what we can find. It's not, we're doing pretty good here. Aw, I've actually never seen a card like actually played. That's a really sweet little thing. I like that. Okay, this window kind of changes our calculations here. I guess we will graveyard into a swindle now, because I'll take us up from 9 to 10. The graveyard. I don't really want to burn something, but we're not going to have an option. As long as we don't burn anything too terribly large or important, then it's okay. Like a coin or a prep bean gun wouldn't suck that bad. That guy is getting scary. That's fine. That's not that bad. Okay, let's see here. I don't know if we can deal 10 damage to this thing, so that's kind of the issue. But maybe we sort of don't want to. I guess we can just sketchy... Yep, that's a mine, which is pretty useful. So we can go on fishing to see what we can find. Another mine's pretty good. Yeah, we'll go ahead and enable mine. We do have two turns left on the graveyard. I don't think they kill us here. Because I think if they don't kill us here, I'm almost certain we can kill them.
The time has come.
That might not be true, so don't hold me to that, to be fair. But this is often how this budget version of this combo kind of works. You have a very slim margin of error against opposing aggressive decks, and hopefully, unlike the last game, I'll actually be able to show you this kind of working. Okay, so we do have this. I don't know if we kill them, but we're going to try. I'm not bothering to do the math, so we're going to enable mine. Okay, I have 5, access to 6 mana. So we could do... Okay, so we kill our creatures regardless, so that's 8, 12, 12. Wait, hang on. 4 and 8. 8 and 8, 16. 16. Let's see, 16 plus 6 is 16, 6. 4, 24. So they're dead, right? Okay, so we gotta make sure to do this very carefully.
Quickly.
Sand Trooper. And then we can Shatter Shambler into an Explosive Sheep, which kills them immediately, and that should be lethal. 4, 4. Another 4, another 4. 2, 6. Thank God! Holy crap! I'm not, if you couldn't tell by my general flubbery of this deck for the more experienced combo players at home, I'm more of an aggressive player, but every once in a while, even I like to concoct some very interesting decks like this that really require you to be present in a game. And it's honestly pretty fun. Now we'll go on to our final and third game for today's little episode. And game number 3 with our little budget Deathrattle Rogue.
None can
Pretty
escape
good.
my fury.
Gonna be honest, however, if this is like a secret mage, this deck doesn't do great into multiple ice blocks or some weird infinite turn, time walk kind of mage thing. It doesn't do great against that, because they're like a proper combo deck. We're like sort of a combo deck, but not really. It's a little weird. Surprise, surprise, French Renathal. It's fine, I get it. It's new and exciting. I don't know if it's that great, because Renathal is not like a Yorion is in Magic, which I know is kind of comparing apples to oranges. I'm not totally blind.
Justice is mine.
But they have a similar cost to them, and I see Yorion seeing more competitive play in Magic. Anywho, let's see. Our turn 2 was just a Dagger Mastery, just hitting our opponent. We'll see what our opponent wants to do. And yeah, they're quests, but they're not the type of quest that I was concerned with. So it's a little different. Ooh, is it Naga? Hell yeah! I have a Naga list too that I've been floating around messing with. Okay, we'll go ahead and just start emptying our hand of cards, since if we can, you know, get really lucky and just naturally draw a trickster, we don't want to burn cards, if at all possible. Well, they trade into our mine. That's not great. It's not fantastic. Yeah, you can cast the thing, arguably as you should. There's a swindle. I think we'll just sketchy information. If it happens to counterspell, we're not like that married to this. Okay, that's not that bad.
Job done.
Alright, let's see. Depending on if we draw like nothing of note, we can always just sketchy information into a swindle and hopefully find our way into a trickster or something. Of course, it might not work like that, to be fair. But that's the dream.
The time has come to dethrone our former master.
Yeah, sure it is, excellent guy. Yeah. You know what, we'll... let's just do a naval mine and then a swindle, actually. Gotta prep. Okay, so if nothing else, we can prep into a smokescreen next turn, which is kind of nice. We haven't exactly hit a graveyard early on, which really helps the consistency and just the damage output of this deck, which has to be said.
Who here can spell Zinjari?
Okay, so you...
Anybody?
Okay, okay, I mean, you're clearly a quest mage. Let's see, just discover a spell. So I guess it's just quest using some of the Naga that do help.
Pick me! Pick me!
Damn! Not bad. That will, alas, go all to my face. That has to be said. Okay, Shatter Shambler, so we're gonna prep down to 6, smokescreen down to 5, drawing 5. Probably gonna burn something, which isn't great. Or be forced to burn something, which isn't fantastic. Well, there's the freaking trickster. Okay. Okay, so we hit the smokescreen. Okay, we have both of our big dudes in our hand, however. Okay, that's... We're okay. It's not great. We don't love it. And of course, with any combo deck, you have to accept the fact that sometimes you're gonna get bad draws. Or less than optimal draws, if I don't know if you want to call it bad. Oh boy. Oh dear. Okay, we gotta like figure out how to burn through cards real fast. I don't think there's... That would have honestly been nice to hit. That's not great. So... I don't know if we're guaranteed to hit the second sheep, but I think we kind of have to try. Get sheep, into sketchy information, not draw what we need. Gone fishing just to see what would have happened. Well, that's not helpful. Yeah, that's not the greatest. Has to be said. Although, to be fair, we did do a lot of damage. Let's see, if we would have popped the sheep first, we would have only killed the Nagaling. So, 3, 4, 5... But yeah, okay, so we were dead regardless. So yeah, sometimes, with this deck, it's very hard to, like, mitigate bad draws. Sometimes you just draw bad and you lose. But overall, the deck's pretty fun, and I have had fun, and as you can see, it did get me to gold when the season reset. So, I mean, that does kind of have to count for something. Still a very fun deck, and on the whole, if you're looking for like a weird change of pace, if you are an aggro player like me, and want to dabble in the occasional combo, air quotes you can't see me making, deck, this is a pretty fun little list, and like we talked about, it having nothing besides uncommons and rares, basically. No epics or legendaries. Means that it's not that hard to, in theory, to craft and have a fun little combo deck whenever you want to scratch that particular little itch. But anywho, thank you all for watching. Remember to like the video if you liked it, and subscribe if you would like to watch more of my little weird grab bag of content that I like to make. Remember to stay safe, and in this case, stay cool out there, since it's the middle of the summer.